Good afternoon, 2nd Platoon. We have just received some intel on a dismounted North Turbine squad moving from north to south on a route that runs along the 44th Easton. We have just received a frag word from the company commander for our platoon to conduct an ambush on this North Turbine squad. In order for us to complete this mission efficiently, timely, and out of sight, I have made a route overlay which I took main roads, streams, and high elevation mountains into consideration. But not everything can be avoided. So first, we begin with the start point, which is our patrol base, which is located at Whiskey Lima 3938-6364. An objective rally point being our endpoint, which is located at Whiskey Lima 43506460. I'll be going over the route plan in detail by talking about the situation between checkpoints from the patrol base to the ORP. Before I begin, I want everybody to know that this is going to be a 5-kilometer movement, which will likely take us 5 hours to get to the ORP, but we are dealing with many mountains and deciduous forests, which means that it might take us longer. Therefore, from the patrol base to checkpoint 1, we'll be moving in a column formation in order to cross this mountain diagonally. Going in the direction of northeast. Once crossed, we will shoot the azimuth at 237 degrees and head for the top of the hill, which has an elevation of 1,745 feet. Once arrived at checkpoint 1, we will now switch to a wedge formation due to us entering deciduous forest, which will give us more cover and concealment. We will then shoot an azimuth from 268 degrees to checkpoint 2 in order to dead reckon down the mountain, which the side we are going down is decreasing at a slower elevation rate, which will be easier for us. So we will continue to shoot azimuth from 268 degrees until we encounter a road that's coming off the bend, which will be our checkpoint 2. We will use this straight road as our handrail until the road begins to curve again, which is where we are going to cross at. Here is where we will have to be extremely tactical, as there are risk of enemy troops, as this is a well-trafficked road. When crossing the road, we'll be in a column formation. After crossing the road, we will seek the nearest obstacles in order to avoid being seen. We will then shoot an azimuth of 271 degrees to checkpoint 3. Which we will switch to a wedge formation in order to go with the mountain until we reach a flat scattered tree area at the top, which will be at point 3. From point 3, we'll shoot another azimuth of 246 degrees to point 4, which will move in a wedge formation through the scattered trees until we hit the end of the scattered trees in the beginning of the deciduous forest, so this area right here. Until we hit the end of the scattered trees and beginning of the deciduous forest, this will now be our point 4. From point 4, we will shoot an azimuth of 291 degrees to checkpoint 5, which is directly down the mountain. It also has the slowest elevation change, so this will be easier for us than going in any other direction. We will be using the column formation going down the mountain until we reach a road, where we will maintain our formation and cross, and our point 5 will be between the road we crossed and the stream in front of us. Once in between, we will shoot an azimuth of 288 degrees, which we will travel up the river until we hit the bend of the stream, right before the crossing of the river and the road, which will be our point 6. At point 6, we will shoot an azimuth of 283 degrees and go up 220 feet of elevation in a column formation until we reach point 7, which is located in a saddle. At point 7, we'll shoot an azimuth of 271 degrees to the ORP. On this leg, we'll have high chance of contact, so we must move tactically and quietly in a wedge formation towards the ORP. Once we reach the ORP, we will rally and maintain 360 security until further orders. 2nd Platoon, this concludes my brief. Thank you.